Hello, my name is Michael Pearl. I am doing my Luna final project. I was assigned to discuss the administration aspect. Challenges faced. The challenges I believe that are faced are the separation of the genders. A good example of this would be the bathroom situation. Normally, you would go, if you're a boy, to the boys, or a girl to the girl bathroom. But if you are transgender, you are normally forced to go into whatever you biologically were born as and not what you identify as. The also act of providing support, aka counseling, for students that are transgender due to the amount of bullying that they get day in and day out, which to me is very unfortunate. Number three for my challenges faced is preventing bullying that may happen to trans people on school campus. Let's face it, they're easy targets because people A don't understand them, and B, whatever you don't understand normally you are afraid of, and when you're afraid of something you're more apt to latch out at them. So, getting into a little more detail, gender separation. Like I said earlier, this could refer to the bathroom policy for what the biological gender was at birth, irregardless of pronouns. This can also touch on school dress codes. I've heard some schools have pretty strict dress codes where you can't dress as a girl if you're a boy, and you can't dress as you're a girl or a boy as if you're a girl. So, to me, this is a form of self expression, and as long as you're not harming anyone and are just keeping you yourself, like, dressed not in a way where you're showing anything off that you shouldn't be, I don't see a problem with this at all. Let's go into providing support. Uh, this could include intervening in regular bullying from the other children that may not understand what a transgendered person is. Classmates possibly trying to fight transgendered people, which would make administration have to step in to keep both parties safe. And also family not being accepting of the transgender's new way of life, which can affect child's academic career, causing admin to have to intervene for safety reasons and for the fact that that is their job. So, how does administration in the book handle this challenge? In my opinion, administration, including the teachers and other staff, handled it very poorly. There was a lot more that could have been done to keep Liam safe from bullying and possibly any other type of harm that was bestowed upon him. So, example number one from the book, Hoyt screeched, "You effing pervert." It attracted the attention of a couple girls who were clomping down the stairs. Hoyt jabbed Luna's shoulder again and yelled, "Perv, you're a perv. I always knew it." So to me, this is just some ridicule. Most people would say, "Oh, it's kind of harmless," but in my opinion, this is a perfect example of what we just discussed in the last slides, where some ridicule from not understanding the situation from the from Luna's, eyes, from Luna's shoes. Example number two. This is Luna saying, "He forced me to go out there and pitch," she said flatly. So this was the situation where Liam's dad had signed Liam up for baseball, and this came to a shock for Liam because Liam isn't much of a sports player and didn't want to embarrass himself. in front of other people. And the father didn't, there was a disconnection there, in my opinion, from what, when I was reading it, that's what I thought. There's a disconnection there between the father and Liam throughout the whole novel, in all honesty. Example number 3. Liam Marie, please, my eyes well with tears. Please, his left hand reaches out and snags the football helmet beside him. He holds it up to me by the face guard. Inside is a mound of pills, blue, purple, orange, white. I can't do it, Liam says. I can't even do it. I can't do anything right. I'm wrong, all wrong. So I chose to include this quote because it shows just how much the administration, along with Liam's parents, aren't stepping in to really provide emotional support and a safe space for Liam to express himself. At the end of the day, if you don't have a safe space to express yourself, you're going to be more apt to depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety, and that's just the start of the list. In my opinion, any kid that can't express themselves, regardless of sexual orientation, pronouns, anything like that, is gonna create a lot of oh, I'm wrong, I'm doing things wrong. I think just things like that. So now we're going to look into how did administration handle this in the United States of America. When finding my 4 sources, I found some pretty interesting things, to be honest. So example 1, I'm not going to read all of this out loud, but what example 1 pretty much discussed was a House bill that North Carolina passed, that requires people based on your biological sex, requires you to use the bathroom of your biological sex, and it overturned existing legislation and bars future legislation that protects the rights of the members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. So it's the main reason I included this was because it is pretty much a kick in the butt to people that don't feel right using the bathroom that they are quote unquote required to use now. And they are looking at it from a business standpoint about not being burdened by any of these people that are going to cause a stink about it, which in my opinion is really stupid. And it's easier to just make a new bathroom that would include for just transgendered people. Doesn't matter your pronouns, any of that. In my opinion, I think that could be done to solve the problem. Example 2 was really interesting, talking about non-suicidal self-injury and how it creates high levels of emotional and interpersonal distress, impaired academic performance, substance use, and disordered eating behaviors. And it increases suicidal behavior. 18% of adolescents from the general community report engaging in NSSI, which is non suicidal self injury. Suicide ranks as the second leading cause of death among adolescents, whereas only 8.6 of youth report a recent suicide attempt. 20.6% and 54.8% of transgender adolescents report self-injury. and in between 9 and 31% have attempted suicide. Further, transgender youth often demonstrate increased risk of these self-harm behaviors compared to lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth. I found that also really interesting. Example 3 um, kind of talks about the fact that teachers need to create a safe, supportive, and inclusive classroom for transgender and gender nonconforming students whose gender or identity does not conform to the traditional expectations of the gender they were assigned at birth. What this means is that teachers need specialized training. Um, they they don't know how to handle this quite yet. It's a pretty new concept. So teachers need to take the forefront, and the statistic that really blew my mind was that 80% of transgender students and 70% of gender nonconforming students were bullied or harassed in school. And only 40% of the students had been prevented by a school policy, and it just blows my mind. Moving on to the last example that I found in the library, um, talks about depression and anxiety is 3 times more common in lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth than heterosexual youth, with the highest rates among bisexual individuals. It just talks about sexual minorities and how they're at a super high risk for self-harming behaviors, um, compared to heterosexual counterparts. And it talks more about student mental health is becoming an increasing concern, with marked increases in both the number of students with a serious psychological problem on campus and the number of students seeking psychological support. And then what interested me was the recent study looking at lifetime prevalence of suicide ideation among first year college students in 8 different countries, showed that 33% showed suicidal ideation. A lot of things need to be changed and done differently to make this group of people feel safe. Now, what do I think? I think a little more needs to be done to help the kids and young adults alike feel safe when attending school, no matter what they identify as. From the research that I performed, it was very eye opening to read about the statistics on how suicide and other mental disorders are so prevalent among the LGBTQ community. We need to educate both students and teachers on how to help make the hall safer and keep people from making fun of this group, as we are all people, and at the end of the day we all just want to have friends and be respected and appreciated. Let me say that last part one more. At the end of the day we all just want to have friends and be respected and appreciated. And that's my presentation. Here's my works cited page for my 4 articles that I found on the school library website. Thank you very much.